I'd like to ask you, Steve Austin, what is the biggest risk?
That's a good question. I think right now, for specifically for us, there's a tremendous uncertainty around the future tax policy. There's a lot of talk about, closing the IRS and putting in tariffs, and so there's a lot of speculation and stuff swirling around right now. So I think that presents a significant risk to us, but just kind of getting away from the regulatory risk. I think for anybody who's out there in business, in particular raising investor capital right now, the I think the biggest risk is just are you able to build a repeatable, scalable process in your business? So for us, that's, how do we source deals? How do we underwrite deals? How do we close deals? What are the right structures for the deals? And kind of systematizing that is kind of my view of risk mitigation from a business perspective. Because at the end of the day, investors, they have a lot of options with their money, and what you're asking them to do is to trust that you have the right process to consistently generate returns. And my answer to that is often risk management. To your point, you can avoid a lot of risk just by being cautious in not using a lot of leverage and debt and things like that. So we while taxes are a component of what we do, we're also trying to generate returns, without a lot of risk. A lot of folks refer to that as risk adjusted returns, right? And so when you're buying buildings debt free, it certainly gives you a much wider berth to operate in my opinion.